Hello everyone, welcome to Bargain Gaming, where we can play excellent games without busting our wallets. This is episode 19 of Kingdoms of Amalur. And in this episode, there's something I would like to talk briefly on, and it's this about inventory management and scrapping or salvaging equipment. So when we come to the salvage, what I do is I go to, before I decide which one to salvage and which one to keep. What I do is I usually come to the storekeeper here. Okay, the storekeeper here, rather.
Come in.
And then I talk to her.
Pot with some gold.
And then go to shop. And then I go to the sell side. And I'll find out which are the items that are expensive and which are the items that are cheap. So in this situation, anything that is like, I'm just arbitrarily keeping the numbers at 200. So anything under 200 I will scrap, including the male elm staff, and then anything above that I will be selling, like the steel hammer, protege bow, and longbow of leeching. Okay, let's say, let's sell this. Steel hammer and the protege longbow. And then I will be scrapping all the rest. I will keep the blue ones because those I have, we cannot control them yet. So when we come into the blacksmithing forge, and if we go to crafting, let's assume currently we are using a chakram. So a chakram can have 3 items, and the first item is the iron. So that is the main basic component for a chakram, is a disc. And so there are different kinds of materials for the discs. And there are iron, steel, and then better and better components. From here we can see that the iron frost disc does 14 points of damage, while the iron shock disc does 17 points of damage. And then steel frost and steel flame. So the flame actually does more damage than the frost. I want more shock. So that's a basic one. And then you have another component. So once we pick one, then we go to the second one. It's called a grip or a simple handle. And then a simple handle or a basic sharpening. So they have different characteristics. Say we pick one, and then we go into the bindings. And then the bindings again have simple contributions to the whole thing. And then there are 2 more slots that we haven't opened up yet. And so I think another 2 more slots. One of the slots is for a gem, definitely. And so there are actually 4 components to any good weapon. And the higher the quality of the weapon, the higher the material of the weapon. So like in chakrams, we're talking about the lowest end are the iron. The next level up is steel. And then there's another level to that, and it goes higher and higher. Now for Fey blades, that is the basic component, is curved steel blades. So when in the process of scrapping or salvaging Fey blades in the past, we never come across a curved iron blades. So those will be the lower quality ones. And then for hammer, the important one is the plumb. So disc for chakrams, curve for the Fey blades, plumb for hammers. And then for swords, do we have swords? For long swords, it is a blade. Again, this iron blade does less damage. Steel does more damage. And then for staves, we have different levels. Like birch is the lowest, and then elm, and then between the elm, the flame does more damage than the frost. and I think shock is in between the flame and the frost. And then we will get better and better materials in for more damage. And so those are the basic component. Fey blades would be curved, hammer would be plumb, and the great sword would be like a large blade. So large iron blade, large steel blade, large something blade. And so knowing that, staves, we have rods. Scepters, we have dowels. So birch is the lowest, and then you have elm. So in the elm side, we have frost, which does the least damage, then the shock, which does more damage, and then flame does even more damage. So those are the, and then for the longbows, we have limbs. So birch, we have both birch and elm. So understanding that, so when we go to salvage stuff, we want, let's say if we want to salvage a crude steel greatsword, we want to make sure that we get the, what's the biggest component here in the steel greatsword? A large steel blade. So what happens, what I do is I save the game, and then I try to salvage it, like crude steel greatsword. I want to get a steel great blade, right? So let's say try salvaging it. We have a large steel blade. So every time I salvage something, the basic component of that item, I want it to produce. If it doesn't produce that item, what I do is I go, so once we have gotten that one, so that means for me that is a successful salvage, because we got the most critical component of that item, which is the large steel blade. And so let's say now the next one we are going to salvage is the crude steel chakram. We want a circle, right, or a round, like a steel round or steel disc, a steel disc. That's what we want. So when so when that happens, we didn't get a steel disc. What I do is I go back and load the previously saved game, and then I try it again, because the whole salvaging process is it's based on a random roll. There are 4 components to every item. So you have the basic, which is the steel disc, and then you will have like a handle, and then you have a binding, and then you have another thing. I think there are 4 items plus the so we have, so we'll try it again. We'll salvage this. So it has a basic grip, it has rivets, and it has a binding. So there are 4 components: the disc, the binding, a grip, and rivets. So we're getting the supplementary ones. So I don't want that. So I want to make sure we do. So we will load again. So I'm using the load as often as I can to get the important ones, the important components of the item we're breaking down. Golds are the highest set. So greens are infrequent, blues are rare, purples are unique, and golds are part of a set. Okay, so here we are trying to salvage the crude chakram again. Fingers crossed. We still don't get it. So I keep doing this until I get the basic component. Sometimes the basic component does come with a binding or a grip, or sometimes it comes to all 4. And I think as our blacksmithing goes up in levels, we'll get more materials back. But again, it's all a random roll. So the accessory items like bindings, grip, and those are easier to get rather than the main component. Okay, so here we got the steel shock disc, which is great. This is great because this is a steel shock disc. Although the crude steel chakram that we got, that we were breaking down, it did not have a shock component. Now this one has a shock component, so this is excellent. And it also gave us a simple handle, and then there's another, I think there's a binding and a rivet. Okay, so this one we will keep this one. So, and then let's say if we go to craft, we want to craft chakram. So previously we didn't have the steel shock, we just have the steel frost and the steel flame. Remember, we had only 4. And I was saying that the shock would come in between frost and flame. And indeed, it is at 30 damage. So it needs that disc, then a handle and a binding, and the last one is a rivet. So it needs 4 items, and all of those different components actually contribute to the quality of the weapon, to the amount of damage it can do. So now that we have successfully gotten, in fact, I'm very surprised we got a shock, because we got only a crude steel chakram, right? It didn't even have any elemental effects to it. So I'm gonna definitely save this game now, so that we will lock that in. Now we have 5 discs that we can make into chakrams in the future. So let's continue with the salvage. So the other one we want to do is the fine elm staff. So the elm staff at the bottom does lightning damage. Okay, wow, so we need a rod here. So this one will produce hopefully a fire rod. Let's see what it'll produce. Nope, it did not. It just produced a lousy rivet. Okay, let us go load the corner shop, because it's showing fire characteristics. The elm fire staff, or the elm staff, is showing that it is doing fire damage. So that means there's a potential for a fire rod. Elm is like a fire elm rod. Okay, anyway, so salvage. So fine elm staff. See, it's doing 24 points of damage, and that is the fire elm rod itself, the basic component of staves. And then the 21 burning damage over 3 seconds are based on the handle, the binding, and possibly the rivets. Oh, it's just a basic grip. We don't want that. So the basic grip. Okay, again, we will load the corner shop. So this is a very slow process, and that's how I have been maximizing our inventory management, selling off the good stuff, the really important stuff. And then here I'm discovering that even a basic crude steel chakram gave us a shock steel disc. So that means any chakram produced out of that will have a basic shock damage. Okay, so here, fine elm staff. Oh, weak rivets, basic grip. No, we don't want that. Okay, so we go back and keep doing this over and over again. So it's a slow process, but this thing is that once we go to the next level, right now we're talking from iron, we've graduated to steel. The next level will be something else. I can't remember what the item is. That one, so all the steel that we have, we can now turn them into good quality chakrams, and we can sell them. So that would be a better way of... Okay, let's see. An elm flame rod. So that is the very basic component, and it came with a simple shaft. So the simple shaft, we will take that. That means this is a good salvage, and we will save the results. So we're in the corner shop. Anyway, that's what I've been doing, and it's been slow, so it's not very exciting, but it has been very effective, because it gave us we have 5,000 gold, and we're still coming out, or here we have lightning damage. So that means the elm staff is a shock elm rod, and that's what we are aiming for. And this one has a utility socket. Okay, we don't want that, so we will go and load the corner shop. So, and the socket is where we can place the gems. So in the future, I think once we have one of the milestones on blacksmithing will allow us to, I think, put a socket. I can't remember, 1 or 2 sockets in the weapons and armor we create. So this one we're looking for a shock. No, a simple shaft, we don't want that. A simple shaft, no, we don't want that. That's only, that is... Okay. Again, had we used a high value item to break down, it will still give us the same basic components. So what I try to do is I sell off the blue stuff, the purple stuff. I think the blue and the purple stuff have higher kind of accessories, you know, the bindings, the rivets. Those will improve it. Yes, this is elm shock rod. That is the most important one. So sadly, it did not come with. Oh, what? Why won't it allow us to save? It did not come with other. With other, what do you call this? With binding, shaft, and stuff like that. But you know what? The most important one is we were able to get the main material, like steel greatsword. Like this one is pure physical damage. Now, if hopefully we found out in the previous one that large steel blade is, that's what we were looking for. Large steel blade. Let's see if we can accidentally, because on the chakram it did drop a shock disc, right? I don't know if that happens with blades. I can't remember if it does, because or if any elemental damage is introduced because of the rivets, the bindings, the handle, or in this case the hilt, the bindings. So it's I can't remember. Okay. Anyway, let's see if it will give us a. No, it just gives us a crude hilt and a large steel blade. Let's try it another time. Let's see another time. Let's say, because yeah, I was shocked when the steel chakram actually yielded a shock disc. So that was unexpected. I'm hoping it's also possible with swords or with blades, with long swords and great swords. So they do great swords do a tremendous amount of damage. Oh no, I think it must have been impact. Okay, no, I think so this can get a little bit tiring after a while, but I think if we need, once we get to the next town, I want to find out where the next backpack can be bought, because in the game there are 5 backpacks. So I want to buy another backpack, and knowing that backpack space is so limited. Okay, I guess we'll settle for this one. And hold on, let us save this. Salvage. Yeah, the bronze talisman. I don't know what the basis is. Bronze frost guard. Let us go check. See if we're making a talisman. What? Bronze frost guard. So we cannot make small iron blade, basic damaging hilt. Huh, I have no idea what the bronze frost guard is. Or is that in scepters? Simple. No, it's got to be something. I have no idea. I can't remember. Let us load that again and see what. I think that was a talisman, right? Why did it yield a bronze frost guard? And I have. It is a bronze talisman. I don't. I thought it would be like a ring or. You know, yeah.
Stay indoors after sundown.
Salvage again. What was that? Crude bronze talisman. What? Oh, this is for crude bronze talisman. Block 6 damage. Oh, 10% elemental resistance. So it has bronze frost guard and basic trim. I have no idea what that is. Elm staff. So this one is a frost elm rod. Fine bronze talisman. Boiled leather hood. Wow, this one has given us the linen mitt, simple bindings and basic grip. That is a good one. And it's only like the cost of that thing is only like 13 or 14 gold pieces. So that is why those are ideal for salvaging. It's like this one, right? This one is boiled leather, boiled hood, fine iron chakram. Let's say if we can see if this can turn into freezing. Yes, it turns into an iron frost disc. Simple handle. Yes, this is very good. This is excellent. Okay, save the game. We are actually getting better returns given the lower quality materials we are working with, like fine bronze talisman. No. We're definitely not gonna have that. We just got the bindings. No, not. We want the bronze, whatever the bronze thing is. So yeah, the only problem is it can. After a while, you can get tired of this. That's why I don't break down all the stuff. Rather, I sell all the expensive stuff, and then I think the parts of our set, the gold ones and the purple ones, I keep it at home in our house in Konarak. What was the one? Oh, this one, fine bronze. No. Okay. So this is one way. This is cheesing the game because based on the random roll, what it will turn out. And I don't want to clog up our inventory in the house. Although we have it like 300 spaces looks good, right? As if it looks like there's a lot of room there. Not really. Just think about backpack. Our backpack has room for 80 items, and you know what? It's not enough. Yes, bronze shock guard. Okay, we will take this one. So that means we'll save this. And they're very cheap anyway, right? I think that would have a sale value of only like 22 gold. The elm staff. We're looking for a frost one. Elm frost rod. Okay, simple staff. Yes, we will take that. And the next item, crude boiled leggings. So this one usually will give us a fine chainmail greaves. Hopefully will give us really good rivets. Threadbare lining, chainmail heel. Oh yeah, chainmail heel is the basic. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's the basic. Like the gloves would be the mitt. Okay, so I consider that a good salvage, so we'll save that. Boiled leather boots. Again, we have boiled leather heel. Again, that's a basic. So we'll save that. Fine chainmail. This costs 33. Chainmail brace. Okay, that is the basic too. But it's got weak rivets. Okay. Anyway, so this episode is about inventory management and salvaging. So I hope that was very helpful. Anyway, let me cut the episode right here. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you'll join me in the next episode. Bye.